So this is my neighbor's mower that he asked me to take a look at. He's probably been running it, I don't know, about 10 years or so. Might have even gotten it off of me a long time ago as a rehab. And he's been running it about 1.5 acres he's been cutting with it. It, at one point, cracked the deck housing right between there. I did a weld on it. That was probably about 5 years ago. Well, since then, it's just starting to shake itself to death and crack itself all the way around. Until he went and last time he used it, he said when he hit something, started making a racket after that, and just has not cut his grass since. So between now and then, he's also purchased a riding John Deere mower. And this is going to probably get retired to just doing like the edges and the stuff that the rider can't access anymore. So it's pretty close to the end of its lifespan, but let's see if we can go through it one more time and bring it back to life, shall we? Some things I see it's missing. Looks like a vibrator. One of the bolts out for the handle is missing, so the handle's probably flopping around. Yeah, pretty good. Missing the scatter shield that hangs from the back. This is generally like a piece of plastic that hangs off and keeps from rocks or anything that gets kicked up from hitting you in the legs as you're walking behind it. And where the party happens, let's go take a look at that. Flip it on its side. Carburetor side up. Plug wire is disconnected. I'm going to go eyeball. We're going to say almost right to that edge. I'm going to go spin it around. And there's about a 1/2 inch difference between the two of them. More than likely, it is just the blade, but it can have a bent crank. So what I'm going to do, there's a couple ways you can kind of go about it. But what I'm going to do is unbolt it, mark it, flip it 180, and see if the blade, one side stays high and one side stays low, or does it flip itself around. We can also take a better look at what we got for cracks. Looks like we got another one going this way, and then the long one going down this distance. We get that blade off. I'm going to go mark it. We'll flip it around. We'll call one side high. We'll put an X on it. We'll see if it maintains that. So this side is the high side. There, we'll put a mark on that. Or low side, depending on how you want to look at it. It's the one sitting closest to us. Spin that around. And it looks like that maintained the high side. So it's the blade that has a bit of a bend to it, not the crank, which is a good thing. So yeah, that's where all the noise is coming from right there. You can see where it's beat itself a bit. The blade coming around. It's not much clearing it. You probably weld those two back together, probably gives it about another 1/2 inch or so of room. Yeah. Let's get a block under it. I can see what we're doing. And actually leave that crack open for a little bit. And we'll go prep that so we can get some weld on it. It goes all the way back to I still have a spot up here to get, but I want to just finish up. We're going to make a little bridge where it cracked the first time. And we'll make that. Doesn't want to crack as easy. Well, I don't have any Craftsman dark green, but I got some John Deere. Maybe it'll run better. Perfect match. Well, I say it's time to get the oil out of it, and while that's doing that, we can take the blade off, see if we can work with it. Let's go get the oil going first. Damn it. Yeah, she's definitely in need. I'll let that chug out of there. Yeah, it's pretty black. We'll get that blade back off and see if we can. I'm just going to see if we can work on getting that blade to sit like it should, not replace it, because we're essentially, again, this is its last dying moments of this mower, so you're going to try to not really put much of any pennies in it other than maybe the oil. I'm just kind of eyeballing the blade. I see that it's pretty much flush with 12 o'clock, and then when I bring this one over, it's in probably about a ½ inch or so. So looking at the blade, you can kind of tell this one's bent down more than it should. And if you look at that one, it's got a bit of a curve to it, but not as extreme as that side. So I'm going to see if we can just influence. Now, if the blade has any cracks in it, it's done. And you're really supposed to replace the blade. But they do kind of bend fairly easy. You'd be surprised. We're going to go throw that back on there. See if we made a difference. Go from there. Okay, that's still a ½ inch in. And that's better, but a little bit more. I'm going to give it one more shot. I should get it. That should do. I'm going to go take it over on the grinder. I'm going to go chew up these edges just a little bit. They're not terrible. But while I have it off, I'm just going to give it a little quick sharpen. Put a pair of ice grips on there. We'll look at the mower, the lower half of the mower deck. You can see how close that blade comes. And you can see how close that blade comes. They're kind of right on the money. It's the side we didn't bend. It's the side we did bend. We were within 1/16, an eighth. Close enough you won't see it in your lawn, right? I'm going to throw some paint on that. And a little bit on that. Not even a run. I have to go out and get some straight 30. I thought I had some, but I don't. So we'll wait and just take a quick look at the plug. And as long as the electrode's not all cooked. Yeah, it's looking kind of funky, isn't it? Oh no, just dirty. The electrode in the center is still squared off and it's not burned away. So we're just gonna go clean that up, throw that back in. Like I said, we're not spending any money on this. Quick aftershock. So there's a couple things I still want to do. I'll pull the float bowl off of it. We're going to take a look at any contaminants that are in there. And what else do we have? We got to fix that handlebar. Let's go do the float bowl. Get that air cleaner out of the way. We're going to blow that out too. And it's going to need a dusting. I got to clamp off that fuel line. So I got the welding done first. It's going to dribble some fuel on the mower deck on the bench. That actually looks pretty good. The jet's in the center. The bowl nut is actually the jet, so we're going to blow that out and just reassemble that. Nice. That's the first one I've seen that hasn't been terrible. It's like a little bit of a dot or something in the center of it, but nothing, nothing too funky. Damn it. Yeah, we got some oil. People ask me what the wire is for on the oil funnel. I run a little strand down alongside it and it makes an air gap for it not to do the glug glug. You know, you fill the funnel up and it goes bloop, bloop, bloop. Well, if you give yourself a little bit of air down the bottom, it allows it not to do that, that's all. So it's going to get about a whole $1's worth. See if we can do a little bit better than tie wraps. Might be able to find a bolt. Worst case, so weld it together. I had to shove a bolt in there. Let's spin that around so that if you walk by it, you're going to get that lovely little curl up of skin on the side of your leg. I'm going to grab another nut that's the same size, put it on the back side of that and double it up so it can't back off. So winding down pretty good. One thing that's pretty common, it's air cooled. Sucks the air in through here, blows it across the fins of the engine, and exits down below. I don't see any mouse nest in it, so I'm not going to bother pulling the shroud off. I am going to go take an air gun and blow around it and try to clean the fins out as best as possible. Again, it's not very dirty, so other than the dirt that's on the deck, the rest of it seems like it's okay. And this dirt usually happens doing some seeping of oil, usually around the base of it or up by the cap. It kind of mists oil on the deck, and then the dirt has a tendency to want to stick to that. All right, let's go fire it up. Something falls out from underneath it. So we'll give her a couple of, maybe want to put the plug wire back on. Let's see what we get. A little stuttery. Then possibly the idle circuit that's in the carb. Of course, you don't take the carb completely apart. It ends up getting you. I'm gonna go clamp it, stick it outside, let it run for a little bit, see if it clears up. So it's got an idle circuit jet right there. I'm gonna go pull that out, clean it, put it back in. Again, probably should have done it the first time, but I don't know how that works. It'll make gas shoot everywhere. Make sure the center of that's clear and we'll put that back in. Didn't see much dirt in it. I don't think it's gonna solve it, but let's give it a shot. Much better. We're gonna leave it at that. Again, for what, how much time is left on this, I'm not gonna go crazy. Probably could take that carb, take it apart, soak it and clean it, get it a little bit better. But again, this thing is just gonna be using for edging around the corners because I purchased a riding mower. So let's go see if it can cut some grass. So it's got a little bit of a stutter to it. You can hear it. The problem is the main jet is not adjustable. And normally on the bottom, that's the jet I took out of the bottom of the float bowl when we took the float off. That's not adjustable. It's a little out, it sounds like. Again, it could, thorough carb cleaning may take care of it, may not, but I'm gonna leave it well enough alone. I think it's good enough for what its future purpose is going to be. But it's a little better after a bath, huh? Well, I got hubcaps on one side, so we'll make this the money shot. Well, that's it, guys. Seems to do what it's supposed to do. I want to thank all of you for hanging out in the garage with me, doing a little bit of wrenching, a little bit of welding, and keeping this one out of the landfill for a little while longer anyway. Till the next one, I'll see you later.